Okay, we are continuing on with our social studies. We're on Focus 2, Ohio's Resources. Now, we've talked about a few of these things that we're about to read about. And one of them, I want to say you guys have already done the natural resources video. Okay, and you've given your answers, right? Some of the things they're asking us about natural resources is why is air considered a natural resource? Why is wind energy considered a renewable resource? And which of these are renewable resources, right? Natural gas, sunlight, coal, glass, gold, and trees. Now, we're going to learn about that as we read today, this chapter. And some of our, now, let's look at our text features. Look what we have here. We have our vocabulary, right? We have renewable resource. We have non-renewable resource. Actually, let me fix this for you. I don't know why they didn't just have those words next to each other, but these go together. So renewable resource, non-renewable resource. Hey, one smarty pants in the room. Can someone tell me what the prefix non means? JJ. Not renewable, non-renewable, and renewable, right? We have mineral, we have economy, we have productive, we have resource, we have conservation, pollution, and extinct. All right? So, Ohio's resources. The year is 1751. Suppose that you are traveling with Christopher Geist. Geist was hired by a group of Virginia men to explore the area that is now Ohio. Boy, I bet that was hard. No roads, no highways, right? Straight up hiking with everything you own, right? He described the land he saw during one of his day trips, set out to a creek and a meadow where we let our horses feed, then to a very high mountain up on top of which was a lake or pond, whatever fresh and clear and a clean, gravelly shore with a fine meadow and 6 fine springs in it. I mean, that must have been a real joy for him to see that. And a lot of times those explorers, they were the first ones to see those things, right? That's pretty cool, isn't it? Vocabularies, we're talking root words. The root of a word, renewable, right? Renew is the root word, right? Or really new is the root word because re is a prefix, able is a suffix. So we took the word new and said renewable, right? So new is the root word. All right? I love it. Let's keep going. So now, if you guys get a chance, you'll watch this video, Brain Pop, on natural resources and answer those questions. But I think you guys have done that. Ohio's environment. The environment influences how people live. For example, living by a river or a lake is helpful to farmers who need water for their crops. Ohio's environment includes natural resources such as good soil, trees, animals, and water. Most of the water in Ohio comes from rivers. The Ohio River and Lake Erie are important sources of water, aren't they? Some natural resources can be replaced for later use. If they can be replaced, that means that they are renewable resources, right? That means we can keep getting them over and over and over, right? They won't fade out, right? Solar energy, wind energy, those are renewable sources, right? What about wood? Is wood a renewable resource? Yeah, why? Because you can do what? Plant more trees. Oh, this is great. It says a forest, I didn't even know it was going to say this. A forest is an example of a renewable resource. New trees can grow in place of those that are cut down. Other natural resources, such as oil, cannot be replaced. These are non-renewable resources. What's another example of a non-renewable resource that we need for energy that we use a lot of in these parts? Everyone? Coal. Right. Once a non-renewable resource is used up, it can never be used again. All right? Renewable resources like fresh water is a renewable resource that is replaced naturally. Water falls to earth as rain or snow. It drains into rivers and lakes, and people can also people can also renew resources. Where trees have been cut down, people can plant trees. Now, water, there's a finite amount of water on earth, right? And it stays the same. So water is evaporated out of Lake Erie. Clouds move all the way down to Florida. They rain that water that was in Lake Erie down into Florida, into their lakes and rivers, and so on and so forth. And then it goes into streams and down through rivers, and then it gets evaporated back up into the sky and comes back down as precipitation. It's pretty neat, actually. It's called the water cycle. Non-renewable resources, things we can't get back once we use them. Minerals are non-renewable resources that are found in the ground. Salt, the first mineral ever mined in Ohio, is still mined today. Other mineral resources found in Ohio are gravel, clay, and iron. Coal, oil, and natural gas are other non-renewable resources found in Ohio. They are burned as a source of heat and power. There were once large amounts of coal in eastern Ohio, but about 30% of the coal has been removed, right? That means there's how much left? 70%. All right, so you're going to answer this question. How are renewable and non-renewable resources different? I would say they're pretty different, right? And you're going to answer that right in here, okay? All right. Let's keep looking. It says, look right here. Remember this map? You just did something with the maple, right? It's just like this map, is it not? People and resources. People use natural resources and turn them into products that other people need and use. All right, so can we identify some of the natural resources on this map right here? I see salt. I see coal. I see oil. That's an oil derrick, yeah? Clay. Where's clay? Oh, yeah, I see it. Yeah, gravel. Clay, yeah, clay right here. Natural gas, that's what this is. There's some big natural gas deposits up by us, right? All right, cool. Natural resources help create jobs. When there are many jobs, it helps the economy. The economy is the way a country or an other place produces or uses natural resources, goods, and services. Remember the other day we argued, we maintained an argument that what do we want? Do we want or environmental? We said, most of you landed in the middle. Like, we can protect the environment and have a good economy. We just have to maintain balance, right?
Because the more you do business, the more you make money.
Sure.
And the more you can do
for yourself personally. And I feel like you can do that while conserving and protecting the environment, right? Water is a natural resource that creates many jobs. For example, workers at a water treatment plant make sure that water is safe to drink. Other workers load goods onto barges or large flat boats. So what's a barge? Just said it. Other workers load goods onto a barge or large flat boats. That's what a barge is. Along the Ohio River and Lake Erie. That's where they do that. People and natural resources are both example of productive resources. A productive resource is a resource that is used to make goods and services. So is a tree a productive resource? You look around my room. The shelves are made out of trees. The desks are made out of trees. Everything. In which part of Ohio, take a look. In which part of Ohio, east or west, is the greatest supply of coal? So you'll need to use this map to figure that out. But you'll answer that in a bit. Hey, take a look at this. Primary sources from a letter by Amasa Delano. A primary resource or source is someone in history that actually wrote the letter. So you're getting the letter that Abraham Lincoln wrote to his wife. That's a primary resource because it's from his lips and fingers to a pen to paper, or a video recording of Dr. King doing the I Have a Dream speech in Washington. That's a primary resource. You're looking at him doing it, right? Here's another primary resource because it's a letter from Amasa Delano to Thomas Roche in November 29th, 1811. You ready? I'm going to read this primary resource. The tract of land is sufficiently elevated for the raising of sheep. The soil is strong and good, with a beautiful fall. Several hundred acres of pasture might easily be added, right? As the timber has been dead for several years and may now be removed with great ease. Whew, man, that's a neat letter. She's excited about the land, right? So, you're going to answer this question. Ready? It says, why did Delano describe his land in such detail? I'm thinking that he wants to convince someone else that we got to move to Ohio. This is a great place to live, right? But you tell me. All right, now we're into conservation. This is a great little brain pop video. You're going to watch and take notes. And I tell you, Rosie, you're very good at that. She always has her science notebook open, taking notes. And then you're going to answer these 1, 2, 3, and 4 questions, okay? And that last question I put on another page right here, okay, so you have room. Keeping this going, Amos Delano lived in Chillicothe for many years. He wrote a letter to Thomas Roche, an early settler of Kendall, to convince Roche to buy his land to set up a wool business. Read part of Delano's letter on page 22. We did. Okay, so why did he write the letter? It just said. I'm not going to repeat it, okay? All right. Protecting Ohio's resources, right? That video that you're going to read up here, right here. Yep, we're gonna read about it, but if you watch the video and you read about it, you're going to know about it, right? Protecting Ohio's resources. Conservation is the careful use of a natural resource. In other words, if I want to keep my house at 70 degrees and I have windows cracked and I'm running the heat, just blaring the heat, what would be a sensible way to save on my natural gas? What should I do? Yes, close the windows, keep the doors shut, right? Insulate my house. That would be me trying to conserve energy. Yes, Delaney. Throw on a blanket is a better way, keep it at 68. Conservation is the careful use of natural resources in Ohio. In Ohio, some people work to clean up pollution. Pollution is any substance that makes the air, water, or soil dirty. Many Ohioans are also protecting animals by saving the places they live to prevent the animals from becoming extinct or dying out. What does extinct mean?
Dying out.
For example, to help bald eagles in Ohio, their nesting areas are being protected. By the way, bald eagle population, up or down?
Down.
No, it's up. Yeah, they were nearly extinct. They were almost out of existence. Then they put in rules, and they're thriving right now. What are 2 ways that water resources help Ohio's economy? Right? Two ways that water resources help the economy. And I remember it talked about it, right? It talked about water treatment facilities, and then it talked about barges, right? All right, focus questions. Remember, the ones that are highlighted, the numbers that are highlighted, you're going to answer them right in these highlighted things. Okay? What are Ohio's natural resources? Write 1 sentence for each vocabulary term. That's a good one. I want you to do that. Economics. Explain how the economy of Ohio would be different if there were fewer water resources available. Oh my gosh, it'd be way different, wouldn't it? Make the decision. Think about the ways you use water. Decide on one way you could conserve water. Why would this be good conversation or conservation method? Why would it be a good conservation method? All right, and then I think for the one we're going to do, let me tell you what number you're going to do over here. You're going to do this one. How do people who live in forest areas use natural resources differently from those who live in flatland areas? That's what I want you to do. Right here. You're doing number 6 right there. All right, well, there you have it. I read the article.